Welcome, everyone. It's Mike Costello from Downtown Comics. I'm here with James Rossman. Hi, James. How you doing?
Pretty good, Mike.
All right. Well, James, you told me the other day, you had to tell me at the store, that the Superman trailer was debuting on Thursday, December 19th, and you were very much excited, as I can see from your gear. I am, of course, excited about any superhero stuff, so I'm like, okay, all right, I will, wait to watch that. And then you asked me, hey, are you watching Creature Commandos? And I said, yes, I've seen the first few episodes. And so we decided to get together for a few minutes here, and why not talk about both Creature Commandos and the Superman trailer all at once. Yeah. All right, so we're going to start with the Creature Commandos. There's been 4 episodes released as of this taping. I've only seen the first 3 because the 4th one dropped this morning.
It did.
And I'm not someone who wakes up at 6 a.m. just to watch something new. I'll go ahead. I'll get to it in the age of streaming, right? So we'll just talk about 1 through 3. Okay, so...
Go. So episode 1, we open up on, Amanda Waller basically assembling the Creature Commandos, because it was, it was forbidden by law to use human prisoners to go on.
So just to clarify, in your opinion, with this TV show, which is a cartoon, obviously, but still, it's adult. Don't be fooled. It's not Scooby-Doo.
No.
But this is supposedly officially the first project of the new James Gunn. We'll call it the James Gunniverse or the James Gunn DC universe. But it seems like from the dialogue that his Suicide Squad actually does count.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that's what you're getting to, right? So after the movie Suicide Squad, they banned the human Suicide Squad, basically. Okay, all right.
Which is really interesting because, in this show you have Dr. Phosphorus, you have Rick Flag, heading all this. You got Nina, I can't remember her last name. But then you have the Bride, and then Weasel, and am I missing anybody? I don't think so.
G.I. Robot.
G.I. Robot, yes. Yeah. So this show is basically kind of like, Amanda Waller sends them to... How do they say
random... It's a random fake Russian country.
Exactly.
Kirplakistan we'll go with. But okay.
So basically to protect this princess.
Okay.
So that's kind of like where episode 1 and episode 2 kind of are. But after, things kind of... It took to episode 2 to really... For me, kind of really to get into it.
I think for me, episode 3 was where I really got into it.
Oh, sure.
The first 2 I was kind of watching with my eyes, kind of like, what is this? I'm trying to figure it out, because I don't know much about the Creature Commandos, obviously. But I do know James Gunn, and I did watch his Suicide Squad, and I liked it. But that man, and Peacemaker, I've watched some of that. That man's got some dark humor in his. And so, like I said, don't be fooled by the fact that this is animated, because it is super adult. No spoilers, but there were some things in there I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this. I'll just say the words Bride and Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes.
If that conjures an image for you. So, okay. So I'll just say that. So, that was where I was like, okay, am I going to like this? But then episode 3 came around. That was a G.I. Robot episode. I was fully on board after that.
I think it's kind of cool that they're taking, episode by episode and kind of telling you, like, where these characters came from, a little bit of their backstory. Like in episode 2, it was mainly about the Bride. She's going back to the castle where she was created,
right?
And because there was like a pendant that she was looking for, and then so Nina, she's like, the first part of the episode, she's like, Nina's like, where are you going? And she's like, don't follow me, basically, and she ends up following her anyways.
Sure.
So and then ends up, in the episode, kind of getting in trouble and. At the end, we see where, the Bride, was it? Yeah, because it was episode 2 where the Bride was tied up.
Yes.
And then, they went to like take the tape off of her mouth, and like she was like, this was basically a distraction. She's like, get back to the palace immediately. So
yeah, and we forgot to say, who's the villain of RP so far? Cersei.
Oh yeah, Cersei.
Cersei.
Yeah.
Cersei.
Yeah.
So Cersei's the villain.
Yeah.
Which so and she's like super sorceress.
Yeah.
Chick. So
would you compare her to Wanda Maximoff at all?
I guess.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know Cersei from a hole in the ground, honestly.
Okay, fair,
so,
yeah.
I don't read a lot of Wonder Woman. So, but I mean, she's got she's got some sort of super energy blast, and she's Wonder Woman level strength, and she can fly. And so you'd think, again, on the surface, this team of I would guess you'd say Dr. Phosphorus is probably the most dangerous because he's literally walking... radiation, which reminds me because GI Robot, which I love that name. It just kind of rolls off the tongue.
It does, yeah.
and but I read all the Geiger stuff. Do you read all the Geiger stuff? Okay,
yeah, I do, yeah.
So they've got Junkyard Joe, which is obviously an homage to GI Robot, and I just feel bad because Junkyard Joe doesn't quite have it like they couldn't but I do but then I just realized as I was talking about Dr. Phosphorus, well, Geiger looks like Dr. Phosphorus when he goes irradiated.
Wow. Dang, Johns.
so yeah.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, but again, back to so Dr. Phosphorus is probably the most powerful dude, but still he can't fly.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He's got no death ray or whatever. He just, if he hits you, you're gonna die of cancer, I guess, some point.
Yeah.
So it just seems really odd that they would be, a great team matchup. But that's what James Gunn does, right? In the Suicide Squad movie, he had Starro as the main villain,
right?
A giant starfish, So he's good at giving you these weird.
He is, and throwing these teams together that you're like, will that work?
Yeah. So, there's I mean, again, this is a if you're thinking that this isn't a weird project, you're right on. But I would give it a shot if you have, HBO, or Max or whatever to watch it, because it is worth watching, and I guess, you get the seeds of some stuff that he's doing. So I'm really, and you said the fourth issue or the fourth episode was awesome.
I mean, in episode 3, they, that's kind of like where the big fight scene takes place, and we kind of see Dr. In was it episode 1 or 2 where Rick Flag and Dr. Phosphorus were fighting?
Yes.
Just for the freaking remote, because I'm just like, I mean, I get it, but like they destroyed like the princess's kitchen and all kinds of stuff. So
right.
But in the 3rd episode, I feel like we really see like Dr. Phosphorus, like he's not messing around. Like he, obviously when he, grabs Cersei's face and he just like burns it, like
yeah.
So. But yeah, episode 4 was really good. There's like some shocking moments in there. The show definitely takes a turn. Not for the worse, but just takes a turn. Everything kind of goes 180 almost.
Yeah, I know. Well, episode 3 ended on a huge cliffhanger.
It did.
You're like, WTF? What?
Exactly.
Okay, give me the next episode. So highly recommended. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So maybe at some point we'll come back and we'll just talk spoilers and talk about the whole show. And break it down.
So,
but for now, so we're gonna move on to that Superman trailer. All right. So that did drop today. So how many times have you seen it?
8 times.
8 times. Okay. 8 times. I've seen it twice. I am old enough. Again, I love talking about my age. That's all I've got going for me. But I did see the original Superman, the 77 Superman in theaters.
Okay.
I'm afraid I can't explain to you what my 8-year-old brain did when it saw Superman on the big screen. Like with the John Williams score, it had an intermission So like because the movie was so long back then, they would have an intermission where they would actually stop it so that you could breathe a little bit and stuff because they didn't expect audiences to sit there for two plus hours, right? That's standard now, but back in the day we were a little more cultured, you know. We went out in the lobby, sipped some wine, had a discussion, then came back in for the second half, like a play. But anyway, but I have to admit, trailer gave me the old chills, and you know how they do it. They do the damn slow down song. Okay.
Yes, I know.
So my first thing I gotta say is for like Star Wars is the one that got me. So for episode 9 of Star Wars, playing the Star Wars theme at like half speed, as the trailer's going and all the stuff's happening, it's like, oh, this is so awesome. And they did it again. So it's a trick that works.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. So overall, if you are excited about the Superman movie now, what's your level of excitement now that you've seen the trailer?
Oh my gosh! I mean, if we're talking about 10 out of 10, we're talking about like 100. Like I like it because obviously we knew going into this that this wasn't going to be an origin story.
Yes. Thank you, James Gunn.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you, James Gunn. I've been saying that literally for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if everybody in comic book fans, like even non-comic book fans, obviously know who Superman is, and probably a little bit about his backstory. So
I mean, I've always said that you could walk out, you could go out into the Sahara Desert or maybe the outback in Australia, right? And you go and find some Aborigine tribe that's never been in contact with humans.
Oh, right.
And you can barely speak, and you speak to them and you mention Superman and they would be able to tell you his origin. That's how pervasive this is. No one does not know Superman's origin. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, just the fact, a couple times within the trailer we got, we saw Superman and Lois kissing, and then they were hugging in one scene. So it's like she either already knows or she finds out within the movie. And then we see that Pa Kent's alive still. So
we see. We definitely get a Pa Kent. What did you think of Clark Kent's hair?
That was different.
I liked it.
Yeah, I did too,
Number one, this guy's tall.
Oh yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Okay, because in the crowd scene, he was literally head and shoulders above everyone else. So it's a big dude. It's hard to tell when he's just standing by himself, but in that crowd of people, it was ridiculously tall, but not bulky. He's not Reacher super human, but he is a big dude. But that hair, I was like, that's awesome. Because obviously in the Superman, when he's in the costume, so I don't know if that's a wig or...
I gotta think it is.
It's gotta be because his hair is normal, like the slick back.
Right.
And so, but I just thought that was awesome. It makes the glasses thing work a little bit better where it's like, you can't take that hair seriously at all.
Yeah, I mean... Honestly, it kind of reminds me of, because I just recently watched, however you want to say it, Superman or Super Slash Man, the documentary.
Okay.
And they were kind of talking about in there how Christopher Reeve was, well, like his Superman, like when he portrayed Clark Kent, he definitely stuck out like a sore thumb because he is a big guy too, really tall. So I was like, I was like, yeah, that kind of reminds me of the Christopher Reeve Superman a little bit.
Yeah. Oh no, he had that kind of goofy innocence about him in the face. We didn't even was there any dialogue? There was no dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, right. It was just the eighth time you realized
exactly because I watched it with my fiance and I was like, before I started, I was like, now that I think about it, there's no dialogue in here.
Just what do you need dialogue? Just the cue the Superman music, basically. Yeah. So what would you say that your favorite? If you had to pick just a favorite scene of the trailer, what was your favorite scene?
Probably the one where he's flying in and then he protects that child from those big.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was my second. It was my first one was Crypto.
Yes.
I was like,
oh my gosh,
because I didn't. I've taken it to myself to not read stuff about movies coming out, spoilers or status of what's going on set or blah blah blah. I liked surprise as much. So I had no idea Crypto was.
You didn't have
this
that.
thing. No clue.
Yeah.
So when he whistled, I'm like, oh my god, it's Crypto.
Yes.
Then I see this cloud or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, it's Crypto.
Yes.
That's
so
awesome.
Good.
He's a good little doggy.
And it's so funny because I know James Gunn, I believe he said he based Crypto off of kind of like his personal dog that he has at home.
Okay.
So it's not like, like the comic books portrays it as like, he's like this bigger dog, kind of like a lab of some sort.
Yeah, because he's definitely got the slicker hair, where this one's a little bit more furrier, I guess,
exactly.
or fuzzier, I guess.
Yeah. But I think overall,
I think some of it works because you see this littler dog with this big red cape, and then of course, he's obviously coming at super speed because of the cloud, and then he says, boy, take me home. And then so he's dragging Superman like it's nothing, so it's just weird seeing this little dog be able to, be super powered kind of thing, but yeah, that was my favorite scene. But I was also, were you surprised? Because again, I didn't know anything. I think I'd heard the Green Lantern stuff, that there was a Green Lantern in it, but I didn't realize there's superheroes everywhere.
There is Hawk
Girl.
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific,
yep.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah, Guy Gardner. Yep.
I'm assuming it's Guy Gardner, right?
Yeah,
is that true? I guess I didn't get a quick look at it.
Because he has like the orange hair.
Okay, he's got like a buzz cut or something. Was there another super?
I don't believe so. I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
But we did get also classic Lex Luthor.
Yes.
With the bald. Love
Nicholas
it.
Hoult looks pretty, like, he looks like Lex Luthor. Like, he really does.
And the other thing I think James Gunn took to heart, which is, again, where I think the Superman Returns movie failed in its storytelling, is they're embracing that Lex Luthor and the Lex Corp. You saw the big Lex Corp thing. So again, this is a universe that's been moving along, and Lex is a big businessman, mucky-de-muck. Lex Corp is probably a huge corporation on par with Wayne Enterprises.
Yes.
Just like, so that gives him the super science-y aspect that we like from Lex, and, maybe we'll get a battle suit or something cool. Something, so.
And, with, this whole DC, new universe starting, it has me really excited because now we know that, all these characters are like David Cornsweet, like he's going to be Superman from here on out for years and years. Right. So we're not going to get this like, oh, here's a reboot, here's a reboot, like here's another person playing Superman. Right. So I think that really has me really excited about it.
Yeah. So great trailer. Obviously, it's a teaser. We get no story, but they just give us a bunch of, oh, this looks cool. Yeah, that's gonna look cool. So and that's good because I guess again, I don't like trailers that spoil the story, right?
Yeah, and you get like that was today. So yesterday was when we got like the teaser to the teaser trailer.
That's to me that's going whatever.
Right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
And it's because I think that was like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah,
like
it was 30 seconds of a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was really cool. To even get us more hyped up for it. But I know like last I looked today, it was already at like 10 million views on like the DC Studios YouTube channel. I was like, well, that tracks.
Again, DC, they're bringing it in 2025. So all I gotta say, Marvel, is because I'm super stoked about Fantastic Four.
Oh, me too.
I don't know if Marvel's waiting for the Super Bowl for that trailer or whatever, but man, they got some stuff to do. They're both coming out in July.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
That's going to be
nuts.
So insane. And it'll be interesting to see like what, the crowd, who goes, I
don't know if both are good. Again, I'm never not going to go see a Superman.
Exactly.
I saw all the other, I've seen them all, right? Mm-hmm. I saw Superman 4: The Quest for Peace in theaters.
Oh, yeah,
sake.
okay.
So, all right. So, I know, I saw Morbius.
Yeah, I did too.
I did not see Madam Web in the theater. That was a dark day for me when I decided that wasn't worth my time.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Craven makes the cut. I think it's going to, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I'm excited. But again, I don't need anything more to get me excited.
I don't either.
So I don't need 87 trailers from now till July. But
and that's a good point you bring up, because James Gunn does that really well. Where it might be like a 2-minute 20-second trailer, but he doesn't really give anything away. Really, it's like, because when I was done watching the trailer, even after the 8th time, I'm like, I wonder what the actual story is going to be here. It's kind of, which is nice. Like,
it seems like it involves another. There's obviously those scenes where the kid is lifting the flag.
Yes.
So it seems like there is maybe some sort of rebellion or something going on in some African nation, and that may be a sore spot where maybe Superman gets involved, and then of course the government, because there was that other scene where he's walking into some sort of building and the crowd is throwing rocks at him. So who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, who knows? And we don't know is Lex the main villain? Is he just a guy that's there doing his thing? I would be happy if Lex wasn't the main villain.
I would be too.
I don't. Every first Superman movie, it's Lex is the villain. It's like, give me something different now, because he's obviously fighting someone in a stadium.
Right.
That someone's trying to tackle him, but you don't know who.
And that scene, like with Mr. Terrific too, in the trailer, was honestly kind of cool, where he had like this force field or whatever around him. That was so cool.
And it looked like he was in like a refugee camp or something.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, super psyched. Again, I don't know if you could think back to this. So, first Guardians trailer with Hooked on a Feeling.
Yep.
Or this Superman trailer. I know what you're probably going to say, because you're probably a little biased. But which one do you think?
I gotta say Superman, but Guardians, the first one, is actually my favorite Marvel movie and one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
So it's kind of, they're very neck and neck.
Okay.
For me, yeah.
I still think the Guardians trailer probably is the best trailer I've seen, because that was an unknown property at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
So that really had to hook people. And so, like, Superman doesn't have to do as much legwork, right? Like I said, if it's even, it doesn't even matter. So, people are going to go see it. Yeah. We don't want it to suck, obviously, and it looks like they've spent $200 billion zillion to do it, but I trust James Gunn, obviously. So there was nothing that was going to make me think, oh, well, they failed, So the costume looked great.
Yeah, it did.
Like I said, our new Superman looks great. He looks like Superman. He's got, we didn't really get but we saw that heroic, like you said, the child. That was a good.
Yeah, and the stance that he was in, that when he saved that child. Anyways, it was like so freaking cool. Like such a classic. I feel like Superman pose.
Yeah, well, I think that first when he lands on the snow, you folks out there that are watching can help me. Comic book lore, maybe but I'm pretty sure there was a panel in the Death of Superman comics when he got hit so hard that he was lying in a crater in Metropolis in that same pose.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know if the snow thing ever happened, but that felt very iconic. Like he took that image directly from a comic.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there knows what I'm talking about, or can figure out if that snow-covered one was actually in a comic book, let us know. But I think James Gunn knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
So super side. Yeah, I can't.
I think we're safe.
I think we're safe. All right. So we're on to the next thing, right? So like I said, Fantastic Four trailer should be between now and the Super Bowl, probably.
I'm so excited.
So yeah. All right. Have we got a Thunderbolts trailer yet? I know we got Captain America, but not
Thunderbolts.
Not Thunderbolts. Okay, so that's probably first, actually.
I think so.
Yeah, because that's May. Thunderbolts is May, and then Fantastic Four in July. Yeah, it's going to be. It's
what
gonna be
a year!
Busy. It's gonna be a busy. So because we had COVID, then we had a writer's strike. So it's literally we've been pushing this stuff back for 3 or 4 years now. So now it's just gonna spit out in 2025. So get those if those movie theaters have those monthly passes where you can go to. This may be the time to buy your monthly pass or whatever to see movies.
I'm excited to see if they do a Superman popcorn bucket, what that's going to look like. So.
Well, it better just have a giant giant S on
Exactly.
the side.
Yeah, that's what I hope so. Yeah,
I mean, we can't do anything. Yeah, just giant S. All right. Well, thanks, James.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're excited. Yeah, no, it was a great trailer. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you when the next thing drops. Bye bye.